acceptez-vous de prendre Madame Olomide Cindy?
For years, people whispered. For years, people speculated, and now it's official. Kofi Olomide has finally tied the knot with his longtime lover Cindy Lekoha after over 20 years of love, loyalty and controversy. Yep, you've heard that right, 20 years. And while many fans were shocked that the legendary Congolese maestro chose to publicly seal the deal now, the real tea is that this story runs much deeper than this recent ceremony. Because at 69 years old, Kofi Olomide isn't new to marriage. In fact, this is his fourth. So let's rewind. His first wife was Marianne Makoso. Together, they had 2 children. That chapter closed quietly. Then came wife number 2, Stephanie Godie. 3 children later, that marriage also ran its course. But in the 90s, fate struck in Paris. Kofi met French model Aliane, sparks flew in the city of love, and by 1994, they were married. What followed was a 27-year union that many believed would be his forever. They had 3 children together, and Aliane became his most recognized wife. Their daughter, Didi Stone, would later rise to international fame as a model and media personality, carving her own spotlight beyond her father's shadow. On the outside, the marriage looked solid, stable, and untouchable. But behind the curtains, storm clouds were gathering. In 2021, Aliane filed for divorce after 27 years of marriage. Allegations of infidelity, public scandals, accusations, and ongoing controversies are said to have been the reasons. Also, the hovering Cindy, who was all along in the background. Cindy Lekoha, the woman who fans had already dubbed the stage wife. The divorce between Kofi and Aliane was finalized in October 2022. 2 years later, in 2024, Kofi publicly confirmed the divorce, and not just that. He further made a declaration that shook the internet. He said Cindy is the woman he wants to die in her arms, further stating that she is the one who must bury him. So Cindy didn't just appear yesterday. Their story started way back in 2007. Kofi was looking for a female artist to feature on a track. He had a voice and was very impressed. In fact, he is the one who gave her the moniker Cindy Lekoha, which basically means Cindy the Heart. And slowly, she became just that. She joined his band as a vocalist, then rose to become artistic director that same year. They performed together in romantic settings and they did music collaborations. One thing was easily noticeable during their performances: the undeniable chemistry, intense eye contact, emotional duets. Fans were really not blind. They started calling her Kofi's stage wife. But turns out the stage wasn't the only place sparks were flying. In an interview later in 2024, Kofi admitted that their relationship wasn't just professional. He described it as both love and business, calling it a contract of the heart. In November 2025, Cindy dropped a bombshell. She revealed they had actually been traditionally married since 2008 and legally married since 2012, meaning while the world was watching one marriage, another one had already begun behind the scenes. Now, Didi Stone, the daughter to Aliane and Kofi, openly held Cindy responsible for her parents' divorce. She also didn't avail herself for the recent wedding. But speaking of the recent wedding that recently made headlines, this wasn't the beginning. It was the public confirmation, a civil ceremony to officially, visibly, unapologetically seal what had already been brewing for nearly 2 decades. 4 marriages, years of controversy, a relationship that survived whispers, accusations, and public scrutiny, and in the end, he chose Cindy, the woman who stood beside him on stage and waited in the shadows for her moment in the lights. So, what do you think? Is this a destiny, strategy, or a love story written in chaos? All in all, one thing is for sure. The recent wedding wasn't just a wedding, but a statement. What are your thoughts? Talk to us in the comment section, and of course, thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like more like this, hit that subscribe button and see you in the next video.